First, the DA seeking help from the United Nations amid the devastating drought that has gripped parts of the Eastern Cape. The party says that smaller municipalities have had water shortages for weeks, if not months now, and farmers have been left to fend alone for their crops and livestock. So we're joined by Retief Odendaal, a DA member of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, to give us more insight on this. Retief, thank you for your time and good morning to you. Let's talk about this. You've described it as a water management crisis within the province of the Eastern Cape. Paint that picture for us.
Well, good morning. First of all, yes, unfortunately, the water in the Eastern Cape is quite dire. We in the drought, many of our municipalities have basically run out of water. There has been very, very little assistance from national government or the provincial government from preparing these municipalities to face this crisis. We've seen in a town like Makanda, the former grains town, how they've only been able to provide water every second day for residents. Elsewhere, like Middelburg in Eastern Cape, there's no water at all. It has to be carted around. In Aberdeen, we saw that there were extended water outages, and even in Nelson Mandela Bay, our biggest metro in the Eastern Cape, we've got massive water problems where the dams are standing at about 15%, and there's just not enough to supply and the demand.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite a if I may just jump in there, Retief, it's a bit of a contradiction in terms of what other parts of the country is experiencing. Heavy rainfall. I know Johannesburg has experienced rainfall, but there seems to be a drought and water issue in the Eastern Cape. So what's been the impact on residents as well as farmers?
Just not be a sustainable supply of water. And I think that we've all seen the inconvenience with it, but you just cannot live without water. Imagine being without water for a couple of weeks at end. Happens to this day. And unfortunately, we are just not getting the necessary assistance from government. And that's why we're trying to professional assistance so we can get best practice, international best practice models here in the Eastern Cape to try and prevent this. We now need to plan for the future in order to prevent a similar crisis from unfolding in the very near future.
Yeah. I mean, you have taken a further step here in terms of reaching out to the UN water chairperson. What's your letter sort of detailing in terms of the kind of aid that the Eastern Cape needs right now?
There's just not...
Retief, I seem to be losing you there because of sound issues. Unfortunately, seems our audio is not on our side this morning. Retief Odendaal, a DA member of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, hoping to have this conversation because it's so important, and to have help being sought outside of local government or even national government to the UN just shows how dire the situation is. Hopefully, we can have you back so we can continue this conversation.